Hi everybody, welcome to my homestead and welcome to my channel. Not at my homestead. You know why? Because of this. Yeah, so it turned out as we were going far from home, about an hour and a half from home, got a flat tire. Actually, I didn't get a flat tire, but there was like a screw that was in the tire. And so thankfully we were in a place where there was one place that was open. It was the Walmart Tire Center, and we were hoping that they could just patch it, but long story short, they just put the spare tire on. We were looking at different options. We're gonna wait till Monday to, see if a place in town can patch it, but Walmart said that they couldn't do it. So I promised in my live stream that I was going to do a video for like another video for tonight, and here it is. And I wanted to talk about Hollywood. Firstly, last night Jenica and I were attempting to finish the movie Nope. You may or may not have seen it. It's about like a flying saucer that's like harassing this ranch. It's kind of a funny,
it's a funny idea.
Yeah, it was a funny idea. Not a very good movie. I should have known better. It was rated R, which we look. Sometimes we watch some. Like I watch, we watch The Matrix, and there's a couple other ones. Probably not the best idea, but it was rated R, which originally I thought it was PG-13, but no, it was R. And when we started watching it, you got like this like very not good feeling from it. And I'd say that Jenica was probably more sensitive to it than me. I really wanted to watch it because it'd been a long time since we've watched a movie.
Yeah.
Maybe the last one that we watched was like, what was it, Top Gun?
Yeah, Top Gun. And before that it was like one of the Marvel movies, one of the big ones.
It was the most recent Thor movie.
Yeah.
Which was garbage.
Yeah.
So I felt like this was a pretty safe bet because the previews made it seem intriguing, kind of on the sci-fi side. Seemed like a little bit of a comedy. I don't know, I guess I didn't research it well enough, but it was free on Amazon Prime, so we were like, oh, let's watch this. And it had this feeling of just like, darkness, number one. Just like a not good feeling watching it. And it was shot in like this kind of like style of, I don't know how to describe it other than like kind of like an art house type feel. Like, those weird indie movies that just like they have a weird pace, they have a weird plot and twists, and like all the way up and down, whether it's costume design or sets or whatever, everything about it is weird. and frankly, I'd say pretentious. Pretentious where you have like these people that'll make movies sometimes, and it's like the director or writer, whoever comes up with it, is like showing off, their fine taste in like movies and pop culture and stuff like this. And it's intentionally not supposed to be for like the masses. It's only for those people that really appreciate movies and pop culture. It was like a movie like that. There was a movie that I regretted watching a long time ago that reminded me of like the style, not the way that it was like, not the way that the plot unfolded, but just kind of like the overall style of the movie. It reminded me of Pulp Fiction, if you've ever watched that, and don't watch that. This is back when I didn't have as good of judgment. But everybody was raving about Pulp Fiction. Everybody, oh, it's the most amazing movie ever. And yeah, that was a movie that left me with a really gross feeling. And it was like the same thing, just like weird pace, weird dialogue. It's like looking inside the mind of a crazy person. like I don't know how to describe it, maniac. So anyway, it's just amazing to me, and it never fails to amaze me how dark Hollywood can be and is. You know, whether it's like a weird movie like Nope or Pulp Fiction, or whether it's like something that's more mainstream, like these Disney movies nowadays that are just so full of propaganda, and they're meant to influence you and not just be entertainment, but to like indoctrinate you into the prevailing philosophies of today. So anyway, you know, I've talked about on the channel before how I feel like film can be really good. It can be really, really good. There was a time in our history where films did more or less have good messages and good morals that they were teaching. But I've thought about how the Temple Endowment is presented in movie format. You know, before it was live actors, you know, live. But then they eventually, as far as I know, I'm not sure if any more temples in the church do live actors, but they did at one time. Sorry, we had some flies in the car and we had to get them out. So anyway, it's interesting that the endowment is in play/movie format. And I've discussed how I think that's really important because it's very much like dreams. Dreams, and by the way, I haven't done very good at recording my dreams because like I feel like my recall has been pretty bad. But Jenica does a lot better. We talk about her dreams, and when I can remember my dreams, we talk about it, and it never ceases to amaze me. Like the messages of our dreams, you know, as we like decode everything. Sorry, there was another fly that we had to get rid of.
There might be more.
There might be more. So just to get you up to speed in case you didn't watch those videos, and just in a nutshell, we've talked about how dreams are really interesting because it seems like they're very symbolic, just like the temple. And just like the scriptures and parables. And hopefully you know, I think a lot of people know that symbols are important because they essentially encode a lot of information. So it's like a simple object, you know, idea, drawing, whatever. It's simple, but it has a lot of information attached to it when you go over the symbol in your mind. And so as you go to the temple and you think about the symbols and the symbolic allegorical nature of the temple, and you focus in on certain symbols or whatever, over time, hopefully that information that's encoded in the symbol is extracted, and you're able to like see the deeper meaning of what's being communicated. And we all know that the Savior's parables, they're symbolic in nature. That's what a parable is. And there's a surface level, sometimes there's like a intermediary level, and then deeper levels. And I've noticed that with our dreams, as me and Jenica have written them down. It's like, as I think about like the story of the dream, and I look at all the different elements, and I start to like think about what they mean, just a lot of stuff comes out of it. So it's a very good and efficient way to communicate information. And especially abstract information like emotions, thoughts, abstract things. So, and I think that, the people in Hollywood and the powers that be that influence Hollywood, I think that they very much understand this, and that they put symbols in movies, things that'll stick in your mind, and that maybe you don't consciously really think about very much, but at some level it resonates with you, and with repetition maybe it starts to really grow inside of you and start to take hold, and I think that they know what they're doing very much, and it's horrible and it's awful and disgusting. And I don't, again, I try my best not to paint with broad brushes, because I'm sure that there is good entertainment out there that is free from that, or has lesser degrees. And so, like in movies and TV shows and books and everything else, likewise, there's things that are, pretty easy to decode. It's very surface level, but other things are more insidious. So, it's awful, it's horrible. We're promised that in the millennium, everything's going to be revealed. Essentially everything's going to be exposed. Both the things that the Lord has done during these last 6,000 years, as well as the secret acts of men. We're gonna know all the things that have been going on in the background. Recently, Troy and I were talking about conspiracies, and it's definitely a thing. Secret combinations are definitely a thing. It absolutely happens. Of course it does. The problem is that because it's secret, it's kind of hard to put together all the pieces and who's doing what and why. And I think it's actually a complicated picture. I tend to get a little bit annoyed when people in that community talk about a big grand plan, master, plan. And there might be in a sense, but I don't know that there's one all-powerful organization or person that controls all of it. I think it's probably a lot more fractured into different groups and interests, and I'm sure that they come together on certain issues, and maybe there's a kind of a general agreement of what everyone's working toward, so in that case, in that sense, there might be kind of a big master plan. But sometimes I feel like people give them, in their own minds, way more power than what they actually have. So I think that there's a kind of a confederation of different interest groups, businesses, private interests, that generally work together. But I hate it when people are always oh, well, it's the Trilateral Commission, or it's the Council of Foreign Affairs, or it's, it's the Freemasons, it's da 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 da. I don't know. Even within Freemasonry, I think that I feel like Freemasonry has been generally a good thing, that it's had a good influence on culture and morality But I think that just like so many other things, it got co-opted, it got overrun by people that had other ideas. And so when people just like blanket, blame the Freemasons for everything, I'm not so sure that that's right. I just think that group was maybe a good group for other people to take advantage of to, kind of organize themselves. And I don't know, maybe the way I think is too simplistic, but now there is one master, Antichrist, and his name is Satan. And, I guess in that sense, there's also a master plan.
Hold on. Sorry about the camera work, everybody.
Thanks, honey. I'm just glad that you're doing this, because running out of daylight, running out of time. It's going to be a late night if I don't do the video right here, right now. So Satan definitely has a master plan. So I guess you could say that there's that too. And that's probably the great driver behind all other master plans. But Hollywood is a big part of it because it's a powerful tool. When you have people that aren't going to church, to any church, any religion, that aren't reading scriptures, not learning true principles, then and they give their time over to entertainment. Entertainment becomes their church. There's this YouTuber that we watch, and he's a good-hearted guy. He's good, but he is really, really into video games and pop culture. At one time, he went to Vegas, and there's like this. I think the place is called the Pinball Hall of Fame. I think that's the name of it. It's in Las Vegas. And he was doing a video there just kind of showing all the pinball machines, and he was talking about his love for pinball. And there was one part of the tour, the video tour, where he's like, this is my church, this is my religion. And it's true, it's idolatry. Does he worship pinball machines? No. But that's where he gives his attention to. That's what he consumes. That's what he I think he said that he wants his own pinball machine, because he has like a arcade, like a private arcade in his garage. And he's just everything that he's just all about games, and there's different things that you can do. For some people it's sports, for other people it's hunting, for other people it's this, that. But anyway, the people that have plans for society, they obviously understand the power of media and entertainment. And I know I'm not telling you anything new. I'm just kind of giving my thoughts about all of it. And so those people that are not reading scriptures, that aren't learning true principles, there's somebody coming in to fill that void with other principles and other teachings that aren't good. And it's really sad. And I always find it very sad when I see people, that clearly they're, especially the ones that really don't seem like they're doing much with their lives. They're not doing a whole lot. They're just kind of floating along. And all they do is just consume food and entertainment and just all that stuff. Just completely just going with the flow, no direction. And those are the people that Satan can take advantage of. It's like, oh, don't worry. Just be entertained and I'll teach you the way, but you won't know it. So it's awful. It's horrible. There is some news, by the way. Mel Gibson, he recently did, I guess, a video that he put on Twitter. And I was watching something about it today. He wants to, I don't know if he already has supported a movie. It's the movie that Greg Brown was talking about in the live stream today. I already forgot the name of the movie, but you should be able to probably pretty easily find it. Just look up Mel Gibson, and I think his name is attached to it in some way. But anyway, he came out talking about basically exposing things going on in Hollywood. And I want to be careful what I say, but you know, you can look it up. I'll put a couple links in the description below. The videos that I watched today that I already kind of forgot everything that was said. But basically Mel Gibson, he's, I guess, taking a stand. It kind of reminds me of, what was that guy's name? Ricky Gervais?
Yeah. Gervais. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Well, I think his name is Ricky Gervais. Remember during the Oscars, he like dropped a lot of truth bombs.
It was really neat.
It was really neat. Made everybody there feel really uncomfortable. You know, it's great that it's happening. I just wonder if it's maybe a little bit, you know, too little, too late. I don't know, but I'll leave the links below. You should probably look into that. Anyway, I'm just really sad that we have no more good movies being made. Nothing, and this is what I was hoping to maybe find in Nope, you know, an original movie, an original idea. And I guess it was, but it was just awful. You know, it had bad language, which I guess was to be expected. And it was shot in that horrible art house style. And it was just dark. It had a dark spirit to it. You know, but we're not going to have, well, I'm not going to say that, but I doubt we're going to have any more Back to the Futures or Field of Dreams or Home Alone or Goonies, Ghostbusters. Just all these things that were just original and good. You know, it just...
You said good.
Huh?
Benjamin's correcting your language.
Oh. So it's just really weird, you know. The me from my teenage years would never have believed, you know, the way that things have turned out in my future, like as far as like pop culture and entertainment goes. Both movies, TV shows, music. There's no good music. Like back in the 90s, in the 80s, there was a lot of good, like, adult contemporary music. You know, a lot of good pop. Just music that was good for, like, a general audience. You know? You had groups like the Gin Blossoms, Matchbox 20. And I'm going to say it, I liked Alanis Morissette. I like her songs, some of them. The Cranberries.
Wallflowers. There's a lot.
Huh?
There's a lot.
Yeah, just so many. Like, that music is completely gone. They don't. There's no of that type of music anymore. It's been destroyed. Like, it's not allowed. I don't really understand why. Well, I guess I kind of do. I don't know if... I don't know. it's just a really dark time as far as like these things go. And just it's a dark time in world history anyway. But anyway, I don't know. Do you have any thoughts, honey?
No.
What did you think about Nope?
It was terrible. It disturbed me. There was a little bit of gore, like enough for me to call gore. It just felt dark, like the videography and the way that they were filming the movie. It was dark. It was intended to be dark, and it just came from the mind of someone who just is messed up.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, so we're headed home now. We got our chicks. We got, help me remember, we got 2 olive eggers. So they should, like the name implies, lay olive colored eggs.
We got 3 of those. Oh no, the 2 olive eggers.
Yeah,
right,
2 olive eggers from the lady.
Yeah.
And then three Easter eggers.
Uh-huh.
So 3 Easter eggers, and they will most likely lay blue eggs. And then
A sapphire gem.
Sapphire gem.
Mm-hmm.
Was that it?
Yeah, that's it.
That's all that we got.
Yeah.
So
We were gonna get more, but then we had the tire issue.
yeah. So I don't know. These pullets that we have in the garage, we're getting ready. I think on Monday morning we're gonna move them over into the into the main chicken coop where the adult chickens are. We're gonna clip their wings and put them in there, and hopefully not have any more incidents. We're gonna see if we can close up that gap a little bit, which I still find it very strange that I'm assuming it was a raccoon was able to grab in there through that small gap and pull one of our pullets out. Again, a pullet is a teenage female chicken, a hen that hasn't started laying eggs yet. But the raccoon did, and somebody in town let us borrow their a trap, but we haven't trapped it yet.
We've trapped our cat though twice.
In the rain.
Yeah, the thunderstorm. He was so scared.
Serves him right.
I know.
Anyway, we're gonna keep trying to trap this raccoon. I haven't seen the raccoon for a little while. I don't even know if it's still on the property, but we're gonna try and trap it. I'm tired of chickens going missing. They're in a very secure area now, so this really shouldn't be happening anymore. We had an Americana. Well, I guess is this breed officially called olive eggers, or are they Americanas?
I have no idea. I think there's a breed that are just called Easter eggers, but
no,
I don't know.
Easter eggers is like a broad category of chickens that lay blue or green eggs.
Oh, then I don't know.
And Americanas, I believe that they can lay either blue or green, and I think that's what maybe olive eggers are. They may just be Americanas that they know will lay green eggs.
Okay, I see.
I think that's how it is.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we stopped getting blue and green eggs, but now we have these chicks, so we're gonna have to just wait a few months and then we'll get blue and green eggs again. But yeah. So
I had a thought today. I was listening to some music and that was playing overhead in Walmart, and sorry, you'll have to look because I'm not putting the camera on me, so I'll give them something to look at, honey.
Just keep talking.
Anyway, in Walmart, and I was looking at all the movies and stuff and thinking about the movies they put out nowadays and about how, love children, families with children, and love, and it makes me sick, the things that are put out nowadays when we know what's going on, It's so gross. You know what I'm talking about, honey? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like LGBT.
No.
Or, oh.
Like, they put out, the music industry is very corrupt. Hollywood's very corrupt. Yet they put out things that are, it's even worse than being hypocritical, but they put out movies that like, oh, it's all about family and it's all about loving your children. And I'm not saying they're putting those out now, but they still do. And songs about caring for each other and being lifted up, and we know what's going on the inside, and it's sickening. Does that make sense?
Oh, so
Yeah.
like making movies that are marketed toward family. They're supposed to be family movies, but they have lots of just twisted.
Never mind.
Well, what are you talking
What
about?
they're doing in real life is twisted, but they're putting out good things. It's sick that they.
So what Mel Gibson is talking about, basically human trafficking.
Yeah.
Let's just leave it at that, just that one time. So that's what she's talking about. Well, yeah, it's twisted on that side that they do that, and then it's twisted like what I was just saying, making family movies, but basically trying to teach your children their values or the things that the way that they want society to go.
Yeah.
I guess one last thing I'd like to talk about is after the scare with Jenica going to the hospital when we thought that she had cancer. She had a bunch of like labs done, and some of the labs have come back, and it's okay I'm telling them this, right?
Yeah, I guess that's okay.
And well, she has a couple health issues.
Hey, you can say.
Nothing like serious, but like if we don't prevent it now, then it will turn into something. So we're done. We're done with soda and a lot of other things that are
Sugar, fried food.
Well, not like completely.
Right,
sugar.
right. Not completely, but as much as we can.
Yeah. You say everything that we're doing with our diet.
We're going less. Well, most of this is as much as we can, but getting rid of processed foods, fried foods, most sugars, and we're sticking more toward fruits, vegetables, whole grains and whole wheat, and also lean meat. So basically, we cut out all red meat. We're just eating chicken. And Jared's eating tuna. We're gonna try and find some recipes for fish that could taste pretty good. We both don't like fish, so hopefully we can find something. But that's what we're doing.
And I already feel a lot better. Even if it's just in my mind, I feel better. Although I think it's making me lose weight even faster. I was losing weight because I got on the bupropion, which I stopped taking, by the way, because I feel like it was getting me too agitated. I might do a different video about that some other time, but bupropion, that's the generic form of Wellbutrin. I couldn't handle it anymore. So I just stopped. I stopped. I still have a medication for anxiety, and I feel like everything's been fine. I actually haven't felt too depressed. But anyway, that was making me lose weight. But I stopped. And it makes you lose weight because it kind of like suppresses your appetite. And that's kind of carried it over. I think, like when you eat more, my understanding is that like your stomach kind of like stretches out. But like when you start eating less, your stomach gets more used to smaller portions, essentially, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I swear I've heard that somewhere.
Yeah, me too.
Anyway, it might be some of that, but now eating a lot more vegetables and not really eating beef, definitely not eating sweets or drinking soda. my body is already starting to feel different. And it's been like, how long would you
It's been
say?
about a week and a day.
A week and a day?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know if any of you need encouragement. I guess I would just say that it feels good, even just a week in, and I'll give updates as we go. But essentially, all we're drinking is just water. We're just drinking water. And I'd like to see how much this is going to impact me. I mean, just cutting out soda, for example, I think is going to have a huge impact because, one, I've heard from various sources that obviously sugar makes you gain weight, but also there's other sources that say that drinking the diet sodas doesn't really help you as far as like weight loss goes. So there's that part of it, but then there's also the caffeine, and we've both been drinking caffeinated drinks. Like Jenica's poison of choice has been Dr. Pepper, and mine has been Coke Zero. And I've been concerned about that. Now, going back into like the 90s, I don't know how long this went for actually, but all when I was growing up, so mostly like the 80s, 90s, maybe the early 2000s, there's like this big thing in the church where people were saying that you shouldn't drink caffeine, period, and therefore you shouldn't drink Coke or Pepsi, whatever. And this was never true. The church actually came out and clarified that. And I feel like this is a case of like where some members, potentially narcissists that want to show how righteous they are, they start making up rules and then trying to apply it to everybody else, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to impress people, they're trying to get attention, look how spiritual I am, and essentially creating commandments where there are none. Well, so the church clarified that, and I think that misunderstanding that many have had about our church is starting to go away, that we can't drink Coke. I don't know when the last time it was that I heard that from someone outside of our church. But regardless, caffeine is not good. It's not good. It's classified as it's a psychoactive drug, essentially, and it's probably something that's best, avoided if you can. But the fact is that it's addicting, and that's the thing that's like probably the most concerning. So I'm really happy to break free of it, and of course only time will tell, but I'm pretty sure that we're going to stick to this because I'm heart set on Jenica not developing something worse than what she has right now, and then myself as well. I want both of us to be healthy, clean, as far as like our temples go. Our bodies are our temples, and it just feels really good to finally be done with caffeine. So it's kind of exciting, and I hope that you can do it too. If it's something that you've been thinking about, just do it. Just do it. There's probably different ways that you can go about it. We've essentially done it cold turkey. And
Jared has. I sneak a couple drinks here and there every day with the soda we do have at home.
But it was squirt though.
Yeah, it was squirt. It was non-caffeinated.
Yeah.
Drinks.
Because toward the end there, we make long story short, we switched from like the caffeinated drinks to squirt and root beer. So we still have a tiny bit of that, but it's basically gone. But dang it. that broke my train of thought. I can't remember what
Sorry.
I was going to say.
Dang it.
It's okay.
Well, it's a good time to end. We're at 30 minutes now.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, everybody. So that's all I wanted to share for this one. So I'd love to hear what you think in the comments below, whether it has to do with caffeine or Hollywood or Mel Gibson and the new movie that came out or whatever. I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend and a good Sabbath tomorrow. And I will talk to you guys next week.
Bye.